G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map, playing as the Rus, it is the one, the only Puppy Paw. And I say the one, the only, the Puppy Paw, because he's got a 1 in his name. He is, of course, one Puppy Paw. On the opposite side of the map, playing as the red French player, it is going to be Leenock, aka Leenoctopus, and he's going to be looking to head out onto the minimap. Look at that. Look how fast. Look at the intent with Leenock right now. He is looking to try and take control of the center of the map already with his double scout opening. So great to see from him. Now this, of course, is Dry Arabia. These two players are playing on open battlefields. I was going to say it's not actually open battlefields. This is off-meta combat. Off-meta combat in Golden League. Golden League is happening this weekend, next weekend, the weekend after. It also happened last weekend and the weekend before. But we're not going to worry about those weekends. We're going to worry about the next one. I want you guys to be there. I want you to be square. For all you fellas watching this on YouTube right now, make sure you check out Golden League this weekend, 15 GMT on Saturday and on Sunday for at least the next couple of weeks. So even if you're watching this in, even if you're watching this in May right now, make sure you check out EGC TV's Golden League. It's happening this weekend. $125,000 of prizes going over to some of the best Age of Empires 4 players on the scene. But speaking of best players on the scene, Leenock not opening up with anything crazy at this point in time. I was expecting to see like a mill in the base. I don't know. I was just expecting to see like a mill here and him researching the wheelbarrow, but not going to be the case. Instead, just going absolutely ham, grabbing up all the deer that he can, and also going to be picking up a couple of sheep. He's done a great job so far of rounding up some of the sheep. He actually missed that one in the back. He did actually get vision on it. Puppy Paw on the other side, though, he is going for a 3 scout opening. Now, something interesting to note, and Don Artie actually messaged me about this. He said, Drongo, I've got a theory. People aren't going to go for an early hunting cabin with the Rus anymore. That was his theory. Now, we've seen Puppy Paw open up with a hunting cabin here. And as a result, it means he's going to have a bit of a delayed age up because he's obviously got more scouts on the map. He's looking to secure that Gaia. You can see he's got the 3rd scout here, 4th scout in the base. So he's got plenty of scouts out on the map. So what might not adding a hunting cabin actually do for you? And that's a great question. So the essential thinking behind it would be that by not adding in a second hunt or in a first hunting cabin is that as a result, you're subsequently able to move out onto the map earlier and grab that boar, and that you're able to get a wooden fortress on it a bit sooner. Because realistically, you don't actually get much by going for this early hunting cabin. Sure, you get an extra scout, an extra 2 scouts, whatnot, but realistically, I mean, that means that Puppy Paw, instead of being on 235 bounty, might be on 230 bounty, something like that. So you really don't get a huge bonus from having out that 3rd, that 4th scout from the Rus. So we'll look to see how it goes. I'm throwing that one out there. Let's see where the Rus meta is in a couple of weeks, and maybe it comes to fruition. But we'll see. But on the other side of the map, you can see that Leenock now going to be aging up, already dropping down that School of Cavalry. No surprises there. And I think the next question is, what do we expect to be happening in this matchup? What do we expect to be happening in this series or between these two players? We do have an early mill going down, so I would expect that we have professional scouts coming out, and I think that's actually a pretty decent counter to the Rus. So one of the things that Rus love to do, they love to get out onto the map, they love to take that boar, and you can see we've got a boar in the middle of the map over towards the north here. We've also got a boar down to the south, but neither of these boars in a very good position here for our Rus player. Very aggressively positioned, and against the French, it's kind of dangerous to be going for the boars because obviously the French, they get access to the School of Cavalry, which works as a stable. And not only that, but it's immediately upon age up that you get access to that, which means that your enemy is going to be, experiencing pain in their base from their villagers ahead of when they normally should be. Puppy Paw now going to be going for a wheelbarrow. So no surprises, they're going for that early wheelbarrow. Probably going to be moving into the Guz build. So the question is, how does Leenock look to deal with it? At the same time, these 3 scouts sitting over near the huntable boar. You know exactly what is up. It is 6 villagers moving out. Interestingly, only goes for 6 villagers though. Interesting. Sometimes we do see 8 villagers move out, sometimes 7. And Leenock's going to scout this. He's going to be watching these villagers. He sees them come out. He knows that it's going to be right above his base. At the same time, finds a boar, finds a wolf up towards the north of the map. And as a result now, Leenock is looking to try and cause a bit of havoc. You can see the 4 scouts out already just chasing after it. Puppy Paw intent on killing that specific scout, it seems. But now working his way back towards the boar. Ideally, what Leenock should be looking to do is just try and aggro the boar. Let's see exactly what he manages to do. You can see the scouts here going to be able to aggro it, and he's not going to have a single problem with it. Looking to get in. He's trying to do damage towards that scout that took the initial aggro, but now the boar is going to turn its attention to the second scout. First scout going to be heading back towards the base. Puppy Paw reaches the next age. He's going to be a very happy camper. because his opponent is already in that second age and going to be looking to apply pressure to this position. So we'll see exactly how he does it. Wooden Fortress already coming down for him. No Wooden Fortress on the backline, and that is the correct decision by Puppy Paw here. He will be looking to add one in, but probably going to be dropping down that hunting cabin before he does it. Lee Nock down towards the south, though. Still yet to get that first scout out, that first night out. We do see it's coming through now. At the same time, did go for an early wheelbarrow. Leenock loves his early wheelbarrow. It's something that he's somewhat infamous for. He always goes early wheelbarrow, even on civs that you probably shouldn't. Civilizations like the Chinese. Civilizations that really don't get a lot of bonuses from the early wheelbarrow in the early stages of the game. He loves to go for it nonetheless because he just thinks of it as a very strong icon. Do you guys see that? You guys saw that, right? I saw you. I'm watching you. So now we've got some aggression beginning to move out. At the same time, Puppy Paw going to be under pressure up towards the north. Villager taking a big hit, but managing to make it inside that wooden fortress relatively safely. And now those villagers going to be able to evacuate, going to be able to get back on that boar, and going to be able to keep gathering up food. Ideally, you want to avoid taking too much pressure over there, but now we do see a stable in response from Puppy Paw. So whether he looks to go into horsemen, whether he looks to go into knights, we'll have to wait, we'll have to see. He's got 3 villagers on the gold, though, and that's not something that you would typically expect. At the front of the base now, an archer going to be picked up by the scout. Scout probably going to be losing its life here. You can see it's got one more shot to take. Indeed, it does go down. Puppy Paw loses a scout there. So first loss of the game, I suspect, is coming out there. But at the same time, Leenock slowly but steadily going to be skating around the edges of the map here. You can see another knight going to be coming into the woodlines here. Leenock falling back, or rather Puppy Paw going to be falling back towards his town center. Leenock falling back towards the north. And at the same time, Royal Knight now going to be looking to create a bit of havoc over towards for these scouts, but not too much of an issue for them as they do fall back. And now at the same time, a knight coming in on Puppy Paw's gold. So there is action everywhere. Leenock all over this map. Look at the mini-map right now. Leenock absolutely everywhere. This is why they call him the Leenock-topus. He just finds a way to get those tentacles out. And what have we got here, Leenock? Why do you have 6 villagers hanging out in the middle of the map? You've got a very accessible berry patch behind you, and you decide to take this front berries. Why? What have you got up your sleeve, Leenock? What are you going to show us? He is a little bit like Mr. Merle on that Leenock. He's always got a trick up his sleeve ready to pounce. But now a knight going to be coming out in response to this. Puppy Paw going to be looking for villagers, and he might exactly find them right now. Villagers actually falling back. I think Leenock realizes he may have made a mistake, and I suspect... What is going on inside your head, Leenock? What are you doing, you cheeky little Leenock? But now back towards his opponent's base. He sees and he scouts out that gold mine. At the same time, gets the hardened spearman upgrade, and now going to be working towards adding more spearmen into his composition. So going for a 1-1-1 here, Leenock is 1 stable, 1 barracks, 1 archery range, and just mixing everything in. Gets it nice and gooey like a cake would. But over on the other side, Puppy Paw going to be doing the same thing? Not quite yet. Just going to be sticking it with the barracks, with the stable. So we'll be losing out in the long run as long as he doesn't add archers. But you would expect that comes in sooner rather than later. Hasn't yet added the double broadaxe upgrade. But you would expect it comes through relatively soon. But now we start to see more upgrades coming through for our wooden fortresses. So it looks like castle turret has been completed. And now a knight going to be finding villagers on the wood line. It looks like another knight going to be picking it up. Villager trying to survive. You can see he's down to 21 health. It does manage to make it back to the town center safely. And the early knight is repelled. Puppy Paw going to be running away from the fight with his tail in between his legs, as a good Puppy Paw does. But now back over towards the other side of the map. Puppy Paw is adding in horsemen here, and I think this is the right decision. Horsemen, a very effective unit when it comes to countering archers, and I think that was exactly what he did see down here. Actually, I'm not sure if he did see archers. You know, I don't think he did see archers, but he may have seen the archery range. And I guess this is one of my complaints, is that as spectators, we don't know what players have actually seen, because the minimap is bugged. Right now, you don't see anything on this map. You don't see anything on the minimap. You've got no idea what is here, even though there's very clearly a gold mine or a stone mine. It's a stone mine. But yeah, unfortunately, you don't see it. So I don't know what Puppy Paw knows. Puppy Paw might know that there is an archery range right here. In fact, we can almost guarantee that he doesn't, because you can see that he's sitting right underneath the fog of war. But yeah, there's no real way to tell other than that as to what he actually knows. But now a raid coming back towards this position. Mill going to be going up on the deer, but at the same time, a little bit of a raid coming in from on the other side of the map. He's going to be careful not to lose that scout. It is repelled by the knight. The knight, obviously, royal, going to have that chivalry upgrade, healing up. And now Leenock looking to push out across the map. He's got quite a bit of a mass beginning to build here. Puppy Paw at the same time going to be heading into that stealth forest. He's got no idea what's in there, and unfortunately gets completely taken by surprise. One of the horsemen does go down. Second horseman very low on health. Also does a bit of trading in with that spearman, but now up towards the north. Looks like a knight on knight action. French knight always going to be coming out and victorious in that situation. Has got the extra 1 damage. Puppy Paw going to be running away, and now Wooden Fortress going to be actually taking out a scout. At the same time, archers moving down towards this position. Wants to prevent anything coming through, but look at that. Professional Scouts now going to be coming through from Puppy Paw. Very curious to see that the Rus player has decided it is time to go into Professional Scouts. So just when you thought that Professional Scouts was leaving the meta, all of a sudden it makes its way back in. It rears its ugly head, just like Leenock does with his battering ram. Oh yeah, the battering ram is back, baby. It is here. And Leenock, once again, he was very intent on gathering these forward berries. I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe he just knew that his enemy wasn't going to be coming for this position because it seems like such an obvious place not to keep your villagers. Maybe that's the thinking behind Leenock. Like, it's kind of a fake out. Like, oh yeah, you're not going to take my forward, or you're not going to attack my forward berry patch because there's never going to be any villagers there. Right, wrong. There's villagers there. Up towards the north, we see those Professional Scouts coming in. Looks like the stable going to be under siege here as the battering ram begins to move in for Leenock. In fact, he just ignores it, going to be going straight for the house. Villagers, no, spearmen rather, going to be coming in. At the same time, a bit of a raid back towards Leenock's base. A single spear going to be trying to hold off this raid. I don't like the chances. I don't like the chances at all. One spearman outnumbered, outgunned by the 6 horsemen, and indeed it does go down. But now Leenock, once again, going to be looking to try and cause a bit of pain here to his enemy. Mining camp going to be going down at the same time. Puppy Paw, what's he adding in? What kind of production's he got right now? Because it doesn't seem like a lot. He's only got the 2 archery ranges. Normally in this situation, he'd have a bit more. Leenock multitasking him, doing plenty of damage up towards the north. At the same time, down towards the south, you can see the spears doing a great job of coming in. Archers looking to pick them off, but they're managing to fight it out one-on-one at the front line. At the same time, the archers on the back line going to be picking these off, and I suspect we're going to see a little bit of a battering ram going down here as the villagers do stand idly by underneath the town center. Archers get completely overwhelmed. And we see once again Puppy Paw going to be under pressure on this wood line. You can see Leenock just constantly making his way around this position. No villagers lost. There was a villager that did go down, but unfortunately, I think it was from before. No, it couldn't have been. This village had to be from right now. But villager count, what's it looking like? It's looking like 38 for Puppy Paw compared to 44 for Leenock. So Leenock slowly pulling ahead in that villager count. And continuing to take away these berries on the front line. He does have berries towards the back. He's not yet discovered them, but I'm sure he suspects they are there. Villagers in the middle of the map, running idle. Puppy Paw with 19 idle villagers at the moment. He's definitely struggling a little bit to keep up with the pressure that Leenock is pushing out. And this is the thing about Leenock. He is an incredibly talented RTS player just because of his high levels of actions per minute. For anybody wondering what APM is, it is actions per minute. That's how many things that you do every single minute. You know, whether that's a click, whether that's a touch of a key press. And then there's another term called EPM, which is effective, or EAPM, which is effective actions per minute. And so that is different. You know, you might, as an example, every time you queue a villager, that is an action. But when you just come back to the town center, that's not really doing it. Because if you go back to the town center and then to the archery ranges 5 times in a second, are you really doing something? Not really. Not really. But Leenock has got a very high effective action per minute, and that's what makes him so good. You could see the way that he was microing around his enemy's base. Early on in the game, you could see that he had units just dotted around everywhere around the enemy base, and that is part of his effective actions per minute. But now we see on the initial town center, a couple of farms going to begin going down, so Leenock beginning to transition into this. No professional scouts coming out for him, not looking to go down towards the board, not looking to take control of the deer. He obviously has the deer hunt up towards the north, but his secondary deer hunt, I'm not quite sure exactly where it is. It's up here. It's up here. And Puppy Paw is actually taking it. Puppy Paw is stealing Leenock's hunt. It won't be the first time that Puppy Paw comes out of the woodwork and steals something. We saw last week he stole someone's girl, and this week he's stealing the hunt. So Puppy Paw, hopefully no issues with insufficient wood anymore. As once again, going to be dropping down a house in a bit of a forward location. Villager going to be losing its life. And now the archer mass beginning to build for Puppy Paw. We'll take a look what kind of upgrades he's got. Looks like just the +1 arranged attack going to be coming through for him at this stage. But at this stage, yeah, 25 archers beginning to build up for Puppy Paw down towards the other side of the map. You can see Leenock on 18 archers, so still struggling. But now Leenock doing his patented Leenock build. This is where Leenock loves to begin adding in economic upgrades. So you can see he's adding in horticulture. He has added in his double broadaxe. Still yet to add in specialized pick at this point in time. But I suspect we'll be seeing it coming through shortly. He's only got 8 villagers on that gold. But I love the way that Leenock is playing this. You know, just really just making sure he keeps all of his villagers alive, adds in his economic upgrades, constantly making units. He's not fussed about a second town center. He's not fussed about going to age 3. All he does is he just keeps adding in those upgrades. And this is another thing that Kanoki actually said. He said that he thinks that the French economy, or the way that the French meta will head, is that it will naturally progress towards every single upgrade being researched very early in the game. You will see horticulture, you will see double broadaxe, you will see specialized pick all coming out before like 8 to 9 minutes. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that when you see players like Leenock who are just so capable, able to do things like this. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it. But now a bit of a raid going to be coming in on the backside. Puppy Paw looking to try and take in a couple of villages. Look how quick Leenock is. Barely even a second. And he moves those villagers before, immediately as they come into line of sight. Now, obviously, he may have been aware of the raid but ahead of time. But he's done a great job. And now, look at that. Sneaking through down towards the south. Very, very smart. At the same time, Leenock got to be careful. His villagers do get pulled back. You can see the way that the horsemen charging in. Indeed, they are not going to be successful here as the knight now begins to look towards a potential avenue of picking up these units. Now Puppy Paw going to be in trouble as these horsemen do get caught between a rock, a hard place, or rather I should say a wood line and a hard place, because he is doing the absolute runaround on Leenock. Look at Leenock struggling a little bit. Villagers now actually going to get caught potentially. A bit of a stab was going to go in, but going to be falling back once again. And he is really giving him the runaround. So the question is, what is Puppy Paw doing behind this? What is he gaining from this time that he's making? Because he's obviously saving a lot of time here. He's keeping his enemy's units inside his base. So what is he gaining from this? Well, he's managing to wall up a lot of this northern part, but it's not a wall for very long because he's going to overchop this in probably about 3 seconds. So maybe he could have looked to have extended the wall down all the way past here. That is an option. Number 2 is that he's built up a pretty decent mass of archers in this time, and it's up to 49. So 49, 6 damage apiece. Keep in mind these guys are going to be very effective up against the royal knights. They're going to be doing how many did he have? 60 archers? Was that right? 50 archers. He's doing 100 damage from each volley that he does. So if he's able to get every single archer to attack a Royal Knight, he's technically going to two-shot this Royal Knight. So you've got to be careful if you're a Royal Knight and you are on the field right now. But now Puppy Paw beginning to move up towards his position. 6 villagers inside this. Leenock got to be careful. He sees all the archers coming in from the south. He does fall back indeed from this position. He's stacking up a lot of wood in the bank right now. Bit of a miss micro, or bit of a miss macro. A rare mistake that we do see out of Leenock. Miss micro. He's on 120 population, so getting housed in this situation. And now going to be falling back at the same time. Leenock looking to try and take out his enemy. You can see the archers just struggling here. Puppy Paw going to bring all of his archers forward. He's got 52, a big mass now, and he's able to outrun those knights on the front line. You can see the first volley coming in. Only 112 health on those bad boys. He's trying his best to actually do some damage, but now beautiful mass coming out from Puppy Paw. I would hate to think what a mangonel could do to a mass like this. It would just mangle it. There'd be limbs absolutely everywhere, but Puppy Paw gonna be in a pretty decent spot here. He manages to keep all of his villagers alive. He's on 53 at the moment compared to 57 for Leenock. So has Puppy Paw added a second town center? No, he hasn't. So Puppy Paw just, I don't know exactly how he's done it. Oh, it's a bit of a raid down in the middle of the map. I apologize, I missed this one. Or in the middle of the base. So Puppy Paw coming in underneath the town center. I'm not sure whether he picked off villagers here, but it definitely seems like he may have. The villager count is continuing to build right now, but at the same time, it's not as much as you'd expect it. Leenock is ahead, but not by a lot. Is 59 versus 54, only a 5 villager difference. And considering how much damage Leenock did to his economy in the early stages of the game, you'd expect it to be a bit bigger than that. Overchopping has finally happened now. Puppy Paw going to be looking to migrate down to the second wood line that he's got access to, but going to be overchopping that as well. I don't know what it is with Puppy Paw. He's very intent on just putting up these cute little walls that he's going to be overchopping in the next 6 seconds. But now up towards the north, Puppy Paw once again going to be looking to engage upon his opponent. He's got quite a decent mass here building up. 58 archers compared to his opponent who's on 43. Leenock going to be losing out on this battle. Leenock does have all the upgrades. So does Puppy Paw. And now Puppy Paw going to be looking to try and aggress upon his opponent. At the same time, Leenock looking to defend. And now we see some knights beginning to move out. These guys have got all their upgrades except for the melee defense. It's not really something that they need to worry about. And now we see the spearmen beginning to move out. We'll head into the cinematic mode as we begin to watch the archers tee off on the horseman from his opponent. And there's a big mass of archers here. Big balls of archers at this point in time. But we are in feudal, so there's no threat of any potential mangonel coming in at this stage. But now archers doing a great job of just being defended by those spears. But unfortunately, all those spears going to be going down. That is going to be the final spear coming out, the final straw, if you will. And Puppy Paw trying to steal away that hunt from his opponent. Mangonels still yet to be seen. No player yet in age 3, but we do see the archery ranges continuing to funnel in more and more units. And this is where the Rus economy really starts to take over. You've got to remember behind this that we've got massive upgrades on the Rus. We've got that double broadaxe. We've got that wheelbarrow. We've got, of course, the wooden fortress providing the 20% bonus to it as well. And now going to be able to fend off even these knights, even these very sharp knights. Puppy Paw looking incredibly strong in this first game in this series of Golden League. Now heading back towards the base of Leenock, you can see he's added in so many farms in this position. He's trying to get up to the castle edge. He's trying to get access to those mangonels that we were talking about a little bit earlier. He's got plenty of infrastructure here, but it doesn't seem like there's any real way for Puppy Paw to do some damage here. I'll take a look over at Puppy Paw's base. I'm curious whether he's got siege engineering. He does indeed have siege engineering. Just yet to add in any form of siege. But now up towards the north, you can see those villagers just chilling out once again on the deer carcasses that remain. At the same time, the scouts are going to be ferrying those deer back towards the base. I don't know exactly where they went, but there were deer carcasses that were being heisted out of that position. But now more archers coming in from Puppy Paw. How many production buildings have we actually got here for Puppy Paw? Just a casual 7 archery ranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archery ranges on your screen. And he doesn't even have all of them rallying. He's got all of them making, but not all of them rallying. And now at the same time, a bit of a night push going to be coming out from this position. Puppy Paw got to be careful. We can see he's coming in for another wooden fortress, looking to try and solidify this position towards the north of his enemy's base. And now the Knight's going to be looking to try and take control. We'll enter into the cinematic mode once again as we see the Knights doing a great job getting onto the front line, but so much micro coming out from Puppy Paw. He's doing a wonderful job. And this is the consequence of having these large archer masses, is they're so difficult to deal with, even with Knights in the second age. The only real way that you can actually take them out is just a big mass of horsemen, but then your enemy's just going to add in spears. And so it's like, what do you do in this situation? Do we move the Mangonel to age 2? No, we don't, Drongo. That's a ridiculous idea. I can't believe you'd even suggest it. But now it looks like the position is definitely going to be solidified here. You can see he's decided to avoid going for this front wooden fortress. Going to be instead going for a bit more of a safe wooden fortress towards the back. And now it does seem like Leenock is indeed making his way up to the next age. A guild hall going to be going up. 19 villagers on that bad boy. He should ideally look to avoid fighting in this position, but obviously if he doesn't fight, he's going to be losing control of these farms. And now once again we see his opponent pushing in. Puppy Paw looking to really apply pressure in this situation. Cinematic mode is once again entered, and we can see that there is so much damage that is being done here. Villagers having to fall back, and now Castle Age is reached. Mangonel time begins. Let's see what the response is. Is the response appropriate? It should be veteran archers, should be the response from Leenock, as well as a siege workshop with 26 villagers building it. Let's see if we can find it. I don't see it. I don't see the 26 villagers building the siege workshop. Is this them? Is this them? Where's the siege workshop, Leenock? Come on, Leenock. Oh no, Leenock! Watch out, veteran archers is coming through though. Still no siege workshop at this point in time. At least I would think that there's still no point. Yes, still no siege workshop coming through for him. Leenock now in actually trouble. Trouble town right now. Leenock is the guy that's living there. All these archers going to be going down in his base. And it's right as the veteran upgrades are coming through. Right as +2 is coming through. It's a terrible timing for him. And Puppy Paw going to be very happy with engagement. This engagement. But now the Men-at-Arms going to be coming out. This guy going to be tanking up a lot of the fire coming through from these units. But at the same time, he's just going to get kited to the ends of the earth. And he's going to be struggling to try and even get a hit in with his sword. At the same time, it looks like we're down towards the south. We've got a new army beginning to build for Puppy Paw. He may be neglecting, well, not neglecting, but forgetting about the first army. He'll be looking to try and take out villagers, looking to try and keep it alive as possible, as long as possible. Now we see veteran archers coming through for our French player. He's going to be able to hold on in this position, but at the same time, Knight's going to be coming out. Veteran Royal Knight's going to be able to come out here. He's got an extra armor. It's going to be able to keep him alive a little bit longer now, taking only 1 damage a volley instead of the 2 damage that was being shot off before. Puppy Paw actually doing a very strong job here against Leenock, and Leenock somehow managing to keep his head above water in this situation. You can see the horsemen going to be coming out as well here for Puppy Paw, but Leenock really starting to struggle now, going to be resorting to gold down towards the south here. Still, we don't see a siege workshop. Still, we do not see a workshop coming through for Leenock at this point in time. I don't know whether he's intent on making it, but it definitely seems like he is intent on avoiding it. Puppy Paw at this point in time still looking pretty decent up towards the top. He's actually come in on Leenock's very first hunt, and he said, I think I'm going to take your hunt. I think I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to take your hunt, mate. And he just takes the hunt. He takes the hunt. Villagers now moving out towards the farms here. Going to get taken out. You can see them being focused, but indeed this army seems to have been almost neglected or forgotten about Puppy Paw. Behind this, Puppy Paw continuing to add in more military. Look at the units just funneling in across the map. Still got idols back in the base here. Puppy Paw needs to get them out. Needs to get them about. He's on 155 population, and we are in feudal. Could this man potentially reach 200 population in feudal? I honestly wouldn't be surprised. After watching the way that he's played it so far, it really wouldn't surprise me. Has he got double broadaxe? Let's make sure. Indeed, he does have double broadaxe. Okay, wonderful. But now, at the same time, Puppy Paw going to be once again defending this mass that he's got. More veteran archers beginning to move out. Puppy Paw is definitely going ham, beginning to add in spearmen as well. Also going to be researching a whole bunch of technologies available for his wooden fortress. And now those archer masses continuing to build up at the same time. Look down towards the south. He's managing to idle out more villagers that were on this mill or that were on these farms. Rallying in more units to the front. We still don't see him picking up these 7 units that are sitting back idly in his base. He's got plenty of units. He doesn't even need to worry about it. And at this point in time, I'm kind of concerned that Puppy Paw might be going for a 1-hour feudal game. Let's see if he looks to do it and now sells out a whole bunch of resources. He's got a bunch in queue. We'll take a look at his Golden Gate. Has he been using his tickets? He's been using his tickets. He's been doing a great job of using the tickets. I think that he might actually be thinking about a Castle Age. You can see he doesn't have a lot of units in queue right now. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a 200 out of 200 for a Feudal Age play. Though, who knows? Maybe he does decide to change gears and turn it from the 6th gear up into the 7th gear. But Puppy Paw going to be losing all of this military at the back of his base. Probably going to be wondering what he needs to do against these men-at-arms. We do see them now coming through with the +2 armor as well, so it means that no damage is going to be taken from these archers. Right, guys? Right, guys? No, wrong. Archers always going to be doing 1 damage. Units always do, at the very minimum, 1 damage to their opponents. Even if you've got like 3 damage and you're up against 56 armor, you will still always do 1 damage. So just remember that. They don't do anything less than that. But now, finally, at the 26th minute in the game, Puppy Paw does go up to the next age, looking to go up with the Abbey of Kings, or Abbey of the Kings? Abbey of Trinity. Sorry. I got confused. I've seen so many Abbey of Kings recently, I have gotten confused. Abbey of the Trinity is going to be what he goes up with. 18 villagers tapping away at that, and looks like it's going to be quite a fast age up for him as well. Puppy Paw looking very good on this front line, just constantly applying pressure. And really, the advantage is looking very strong in his favor. A villager count reveals he's sitting on 76 villagers at this point in time, still sitting only on the 1 town center at this point. At least I think it is. Yeah, just the 1 town center at this point in the game. Compared to his opponent, who's on 60 villagers. Leenock not looking pretty right now. Down 16 villagers and playing as the French, which get a villager advantage. And now a bit of a raid coming back towards the enemy side of the base. Puppy Paw reaches the Castle Age. He'll be looking to upgrade all of those units that he's got out. And now he's going to be potentially losing them if he's not careful. We see the men-at-arms as well as the knights looking to get in on the action. No veteran upgrades coming through just yet for Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw going to be getting a little bit aggressed upon as well with that the Royal Knights inside the base. You can see them, multiple attack alarms going off. Leenock doing what Leenock does best. He is taking control of the minimap right now, or taking control of the map rather, and looking to get in on the villager lines, doing plenty of damage, and Leenock trying to find a way back into it. Going to be able to clean up the archers, and the question is, did Puppy Paw spend too long in the Castle Age, in the Feudal Age? His military mass is beginning to dwindle. He's got 34 idols, even though he's got a beautiful villager count at the moment, 72 villagers. You got to start to wonder whether he spent too much time in the Feudal Age, and now all of a sudden we see masses beginning to build all over the map. Puppy Paw coming in and attacking with just a handful. I say just a handful. You got damn 28 archers there, Drongo. That is not a handful, my friend. That is a lot more than a handful. But now you can hear those production facilities just popping off. Still, we don't see Leenock adding in any form of siege, any form of second town center just yet. He does have the guild hall. He's up to 1,140 of this food. So he could be looking to even go for an Imperial Age potentially if he wants to. Knight's doing a great job of cleaning up another knight towards the back of the base, and now all of his attention going to be turning towards those villagers. Puppy Paw, got to be careful. We do see those veteran upgrades finally coming through for Puppy Paw, but at the same time, it might be too little too late. Leenock has somehow found a way back into this game, it seems. All of a sudden, you're starting to think that Puppy Paw was just taking over the game, but then Leenock's like, ha ha ha, they don't call me the Leenock-topus for no reason, kid. And that's because he's got his tentacles in damn near everything. This guy just somehow finds a way into the map. He's just micromanaging all over the map, finding a way back in, and he's down. Now Puppy Paw to 73 villagers, 64 for Leenock. He's closing the villager gap, and with the villager gap being closed, it becomes more likely that Leenock looks to try and win this game. At the same time, a bit of an attack on the front, just a single spearman. Men-at-arms potentially going to be coming out of these barracks here, and at the same time, a huge attack moving in towards the base right now of Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw struggling in this situation. We see he's still yet to pick up any relics from the Abbey of the Trinity. No warrior monks coming out just yet, and I gotta say, I didn't know what the outcome of this game was going to be coming into it, but I got to say, watching this game, it has been non-stop action-packed. We have been seeing back and forth fights throughout this game, and it really goes to show that, Puppy Paw, an incredibly talented player, able to kick it at the top with people like Leenock. That was pretty close to a rap. Pretty close to a rhyme right there. But now Puppy Paw does manage to repel the raid, or repel the attack, finally getting the veteran upgrades. Yet to get those +2 upgrades just yet. You can see that he is researching them at the moment at the blacksmith. Still yet to get that Boyar's Fortitude upgrade. Only available in the Castle Age, if I remember correctly now. But Leenock managing to stabilize. So where does Leenock go from here? Does he look for a second town center? Does he look for a forward keep? He's got 18 villagers on stone, so you would think it's going to be one of the two. Does he look for 2 town centers? He could actually afford 2 town centers. We saw 400 wood just being spent right there. Where is it? Where is it, Leenock? Show me the money. I don't see it. I don't see it. It's probably going to be a forward keep. We see more villagers moving up towards this position. He could be very intent on adding that in. We'll see how he looks to play it. As a warrior monk going to be caught down with its pants. Or caught with its pants down, rather. Wallalol going to come off. Knight's going to be making it behind enemy lines. Wall not going to be able to go up down here. Warrior monk changing its decision about where it's going to go. And at the same time, Lenok still yet to add in that keep, still yet to add in that second town center, and now going to be suffering a little bit of an overchop as more knights going to be making it through, and there is a lot of damage coming out here. Unfortunately, that Warrior Monk does manage to get away. Lenok did have the chance to take it out. Not going to be able to pay attention enough for it. Bit of a long distance mine come in. At the same time, a knight manages to find a villager up towards the north or west of the map here. Lenok is just absolutely in shambles right now as Puppy Paw continues to suffer, or continues to make him suffer rather. Guildhall, Lenok did take it out. Lenok now sitting on, or now changing it over to gold. He has decided to cash out. At the same time, we've got a bit of a push coming in on those units. Knight's going to be able to fend it off down towards the south. You can see that all of the gold has been taken out of that gold mine. And Lenok going to be heading back towards the middle of the map, trying to find some form of resources. You can see he's struggling. 9 villagers at the moment, all on gold. They've just managed to get that up. But now we see the raids repelled. And Lenok still yet to add any third town center coming out from the guy. What is going on with Lenok? What is his intention? And finally, a mangonel does come out for him. So he has looked to opt into siege. But now Puppy Paw is preparing for the late game. And this is what starts to scare me. Puppy Paw is an incredible player. And when it comes to the late game, he is on an incredible civ. The Rus, a great civilization. When it comes to the late game, definitely going to be able to outmatch the French. But the question is whether Puppy Paw is going to be able to hold on. You can see he's doing his best right here. Finds a little bit of a hole in the wall here. You're going to have to seal this one up. 81 economic units for him at the moment. With regard to the relics he's collected, he's only got 1 relic in the bag at the moment. Second relic is out towards the back of the base. Third relic out in the middle of the map. Warrior Monk does go down while trying to pick it up. 4th relic over towards Lenok. So there's still a lot of relics that are out here. We did hear sacred sites being captured up, I suspect, down towards the south. I'm not sure exactly where it is as more attacks continue to unfold throughout this game. And my lord, what a game we have had right here. This is an absolutely epic game. But at the same time, Puppy Paw still with archers behind his enemy's base. He's really fighting for his life at this point in time. I'd love to check the scores, but I feel like by checking the scores, you kind of ruin the game for yourself because, without seeing the scores, it kind of enables you to check. If you see the scores, then you know what the status is. Like, oh, someone's ahead by 5,000. Oh, okay, that guy's definitely going to win. But in this situation, I mean, Puppy Paw, I don't really know where he is. I feel like he's in a good spot, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried for him. And then with regard to Lenok, I mean, the same thing. I've always felt like he's fighting from behind, but he's managed to stabilize. He's managed to keep a lot of his villagers alive. He's sitting on 72, 53 military pop, and now going to be cleaning up. He's got Arbitria on the back, going to be making his way into the stealth forest. Mangonel actually going to be going down here, and almost using the Mangonel to bait all of these units in here. Look at the amount of damage he's able to do. He's able to clear out all of these knights as a result of these Mangonels. So, interesting play coming through. Was that an intentional bait by Lenok? Just to have a single Mangonel force out those knights to come through onto the back line and then do damage. But we now see that keep going to be going down. Just 8 villagers going to be tapping away at it at this point in time. A response from Puppy Paw is going to be going down, but at the same time, I think that he might have decided that that's probably a bit too aggressive. It looks like Knight's going to be just picking off units everywhere. Puppy Paw, I'm starting to feel like he's falling apart at this point. Lenok really aggressive with this second keep coming down in the face, base in your face, that kind of thing. Puppy Paw in trouble, I would say. At this point, we see 77-29 versus 74-53. Lenok managing to even up the villager count at this point in time. Mangonel also coming out for his opponent. Villagers trying their best to get this keep up. You can see it doesn't appear doubtful that it is going to come up. Indeed, the keep does come up and looks to hold this central position, but Lenok definitely has a great spot to begin his attack from, to use this as a central sieging location, and that's exactly what he does, putting that siege workshop on the front line, and the trebuchets are going to be rallying towards that front line, and there they are. So now going to be looking to get more trebuchets out. 8 idle villagers, probably going to be jumping on a wood line or something like that. Indeed, no, it's a house. Now it's a lumber camp. There you go. So helping out with the wood gathering. Also, we see horticulture or fertilization coming through. So Lenok looking to try and buff up the economy. You can see no acid distillation just yet. Do we have lumber preservation? No, we do not. Lumber preservation yet to be dropped in. But Lenok definitely looking to take control of this game. Now villagers up towards the north here. Going to get picked off on this gold mine. Got to be careful here, Mr. Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw going to be falling back behind enemy lines. Or in fact, behind his own lines. I mean, it's enemy lines if you're playing from the perspective of Lenok, I guess. But now a single villager up towards this stone outcropping is going to go down as well. And the villager count is going to be swinging in favor. 69 villagers for Puppy Paw. Lenok currently sitting on 79 villagers. He has added in the second town center. It is boom time, baby. Lenok is booming, baby. He is going to the moon. Whereas Puppy Paw, I mean, do we see that second town center out from him just yet? It doesn't seem like it. No second town center from Puppy Paw at this point. He tried to do a feudal-only fight, but unfortunately wasn't successful, and then decided to go into the castle age, but hasn't added in a second town center just yet. We do see a response is coming out. Mangonel is going to be the way that he looks to go here. A single trebuchet also going to be coming out in this position. And now I've got a bit of a question for you guys. You guys in Twitch chat, you guys on YouTube, leave a comment below. Let me know what your response is. Do you think keeps need to be nerfed, And if so, do you think this is an appropriate nerf to them? Make it so that the keep takes stone to be healed rather than wood. What do you think? Is that a good idea? I don't know if that's a good idea. I just feel like, at the moment, right, Leenock here, he's going to be able to repair up this keep, or his opponent able to repair up this keep just with wood, despite spending stone on it. So you're essentially converting wood into stone. Just by buying yourselves time. So that's a question. That's let's start the discussion. Would you support that? Would you like to see that? But now we actually see Leenock going to be suffering a little bit of a raid back towards his own base. Meanwhile, pushing forward 2 trebuchets, 3 trebuchets now coming out from him, and now we begin to see the trench build. This is what I like to call the trench. The trench is beginning to build. The trebuchets behind the emplacements, behind the keeps of the castles. But yeah, Leenock looking continually better as this game progresses. 140 population for Puppy Paw at the moment, 166 for Leenock, so it is still close, but keep in mind, Leenock does sit safely with his 2 town center boom going to the moon. He is sitting there, 85 villagers at the moment. Puppy Paw on the other side, 71, and it continues to dwindle. And now Leenock is looking to try and do some damage. We see that relic being picked up. Not going to be going inside that monastery. All right, it does go inside that monastery. Puppy Paw doing the right thing. But another villager going to be going down. You can see Leenock just in the base, causing havoc non-stop. But now down towards the south, we can see Leenock continuing to gather up that stone. Intent on potentially dropping down a second keep, a third keep, who knows? This guy loves to drop down keeps, but going to be cleaning up the map slowly from his opponent. We'll take a look at his line of sight and see what he sees. No real outposts coming out from Leenock. One of the things we do see often from him is that he'll look to outpost his enemy and look to try and gather up a whole bunch of intelligence from them just by putting outposts around the entire map. But in this position, it looks like Leenock just going to be sticking with a men-at-arm composition, looking to include a couple of spears, going for very heavy infantry. He's got archers, he's got arballetria, he's got quite literally 4 different types of infantry out. And I think they're the only 4 infantry that are available to him at this stage of the game. Let's double check. I want to double check before I start committing to things like that. Archery range, 1-2 units. Barracks, 1-2 units. Yeah, he's just literally going for full infantry at this point. Maybe raiding with units, but he's like, we are literally seeing him use or utilize every single unit that he's got available to him. The only thing we haven't seen him make are Springwoods. And there's a Springwood in the queue. So there you go. There you go. Leenock is literally making absolutely everything. And I think, to be honest, that is a great show. Or a great piece of evidence that Age of Empires 4 was in a pretty good spot. When all units are being used from a civilization, it's a good argument that the game is in a good spot. So, big shout out to the devs. Now the keep going to be going down in the middle of the map. We see double trebuchets coming out for his opponent. Puppy Paw going to be trying to hold on. Income per minute not looking the best for Puppy Paw. You can see that Leenock is ahead by about 700 food at the moment. Puppy Paw slightly ahead in regard to wood, slightly ahead with regard to gold, and nowhere near in the stone count. But keep in mind, there are other ways for Puppy Paw to generate resources, whether it be through the Golden Gate, whether it be through the relics, which are already included up here. The other big thing to note is that Leenock has got the Golden Gate. That's not the Golden Gate. That is the Golden Gate, which is recently cashed out of. He's got 2k gold in the bank right now. Loses this front position, and now we look like we might have a push beginning to come out. I've got absolutely no idea who is in the lead here. I've got no idea who's in the clear here. I've got no idea which civilization is likely to win. And look at this, 3 wooden fortresses up towards the north. He is intent on holding that position, and Leenock now going Imperial by the looks of it. And indeed, a fight beginning to break out in the middle of the map. The Mangonels firing down upon all of those spears, all of those men-at-arms, as they look to try and make ends meet, trying to take out those archers, trying to take out those crossbows. We can see the arballetria on the back line. You're going to be suffering absolute terrible losses as these Mangonels going to be able to unfold. And 3, 2, 1, there they all go, falling down. And now, I thought we'd had a good game for a second there, but no, it wasn't good game. It was Leenock reaching the Imperial Age. It's not the keep up towards the north. What has he gone with? He's gone for the College of Artillery, so we begin to see the French meta continue to evolve as players looked to change the way that they play, but Leenock may have bitten off more than he could chew. He came forward with that early keep. He came forward with the trebuchets, but all of a sudden, Puppy Paw now looks to push out of his base, and he looks to mean business. Damn, this is a big push coming through from Puppy Paw. I'm curious if Leenock is going to actually be able to hold it up towards the north. It looks like the wood, or rather the gold coming in for Puppy Paw is potentially threatened, but now the base of Leenock is potentially threatened because Leenock, he's put that landmark. Where has he put that landmark? It's in a pretty forward location. We do see it's going to be a culverin coming out from Leenock here. A smart move from him, a royal culverin no less. Going to be able to take out the siege of his enemy, but the question is whether he's going to be able to actually do anything with this Imperial Age, because right now he's got 105 villagers, only 28 military, and compare that over to his opponent who sits on 95 military. Puppy Paw is looking to try and take out Leenock at this point in the game. Keep in mind, fellas, this is game 1 between these two players in this series. I've got no clue how this ends, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Puppy Paw does this, because it is absolutely incredible the way he's pushing in underneath this. Plenty of mangonels coming out now. We see 3 mangonels, 6 springles coming out. There's going to be a culverin coming in from the south very shortly. There it is. We do spot it out. The culverin meta has begun, taking out the first of the mangonels. Second mangonel looking to get eyed out here. He's going back towards the back. Indeed, he opens up upon it. Third mangonel going to be going down if he's not careful, but the culverin goes down before it can even do it. The springlets coming out from Puppy Paw, managing to actually keep this push alive. More mangonels slowly but steadily moving in. At the same time, Puppy Paw definitely committing to this push. Trebuchet's beginning to move forward, and Leenock, where are his forces? Leenock right now sitting on 34 military. At the same time, I gotta wonder where they are. Those are villagers down to the south. There's a keep back in the base. He's got landmarks in this base, but no real sieges threatening him just yet. He does have catapults on the way, or rather, trebuchets on the way. And now Leenock, with the only units that he's got left, appears to be turning his attention towards this northern position. It's just a bunch of trebuchets and a few men-at-arms. Where is Leenock's army? Leenock has got no army, and right now he feels like he's got a little bit no hope, but at the same time, here we go. Leenock has found a little bit of army. 3 horsemen, or rather 6 horsemen, 3 knights, and a couple of men-at-arms looking to try and come into the base. Mangonel's going to be doing a bit of work here. Leenock still sitting up on 88 villagers compared to his opponent who's on 64, so Puppy Paw trying to make ends meet. At the same time, a bit of a raid coming into the base. We see villagers moving in towards the center of the map. A huge, massive crossbows now beginning to build up for Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw going to be trying to hold onto this position. Mangonel's firing off down on the cavalry below it. And you can see at the same time a beautiful cleanup coming through from Puppy Paw. It looks like the push might have actually worked in this situation. We've now got the trebuchets continuing to unpack down upon the town center. The town center going to be going down shortly. That is the capital town center. We'll switch it over to the not the wonder tracker, the landmark tracker. And you can see, so Puppy Paw sitting on 3 landmarks at the moment. Obviously, he is still in age 3, but age 4 is where Leenock is going to be, and that is going to be his 4th landmark, going down to 3 landmarks, and it is going to be a potential threat for the game to be over here, because Leenock is looking like he might actually lose this. A forward keep now coming out from Puppy Paw. He is looking to deny any potential units coming out of this College of Artillery. Also going for a wooden fortress here. He is looking to be absolutely aggressive. All of the resources being expended so quickly. And now the trebuchet is beginning to move forward. The town center has been destroyed. We're at 3 landmarks apiece right now, and they begin to unfold on the guild hall. You can see Puppy Paw is intent on finishing this game. He wants to finish it right now. Up towards the north, we still see that the trebuchets are doing their best to try and take out the base of Puppy Paw, but they're working on lumber camps, they're working on houses, they're working on archery ranges, and to be honest, Puppy Paw not really making archers at this point in time. The culverin goes down, the villagers taking the culverin out. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. A culverin popped out trying to be the saving grace there for Leenock. It's not going to be successful, and now Leenock really going to start suffering as the guild hall going to be going down. He needs to take this gold out before this guild hall goes down. Slowly but steadily, you can see the trebuchets working on it. It's down to 1,700 health. How much do these guys do? Let's take a look. 100. They do 550 a pop, and he does take out the cash right at the last second. You can see that Leenock intent on staying alive. I feel like singing the song, but I've already sung enough today, so we're going to just leave it for now. And now, finally, the landmark is going to be getting destroyed here for Leenock. Leenock down to 2 landmarks. He's lost this landmark down to the south, the College of Artillery. The guild hall going to be going down as well. You can see the trebuchets unfolding upon that guild hall, turning their attention now towards the School of Cavalry, and Leenock's got a push. I think he finally realizes we're entering into the cinematic mode, turning their attention. At the same time, the guild hall still manages to stay alive. All of the units coming out from Leenock. He's in the Imperial ages, trying to make something work here. The men-at-arms are going to be coming out, looking to siege down the trebuchets. They know how important it is. The mangonels going to be going down on the back line. The horsemen doing so much work here. The guild hall still managing to stand. At the same time, we see that all of the villagers getting pulled to actually heal up the School of Cavalry, but now the mass from Puppy Paw overwhelms his opponent. I think this might be a good game, fellas. Leenock is struggling to keep his head above water in this situation. Guild hall going to be going down. It's up to 100 gold already, but the keep now going to be going down. It's looking doubtful that this gets up, and indeed, we now see in response to a wooden fortress coming out. There is absolute chaos in this base right now. Leenock knows he is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a good game getting called any second right now. Leenock trying, Leenock testing, Leenock failing, and Puppy Paw victorious in the first game of this series. What an absolute game. What a thriller. What a smashing bloody game. Fellas, if you've enjoyed this game, make sure you check out EGC TV this weekend, every weekend, 15 GMT, Saturday, Sunday. Be there or be square. Whew. I'm going to need a drink of water after that one, or maybe some gamer subs.